Hey everyone, this is Jason coming at you again. This is part two in the software headphone or in-ear monitor system tutorial using Logic Pro X. Alright, so yeah, if you haven't seen part one, first of all, definitely go back, check out part one. It explains the hardware portion of this, how we get all of our different channels and different tracks into our interface so that Logic can do what it needs to do, how we do this all, and we send everything to the house beforehand so the house is never affected by what we're doing. And it shows, just the hookups, how everything should be hooked up, in what order, etc. And I think I do a rather well job of explaining it. Anyways, that's enough of me being big headed. This is the software portion, which deals with Logic. All right, so essentially all the tracks come into Logic. As you know, we're using a Tascam US 1800. It has 14 ins and 4 outs. So what we have here is a whole bunch of channels in Logic, 14 of them to be exact, for each input on the interface. Then I, of course, label them what they are, etc., down here. The organ, the talkback. These first 8 are all XLR inputs. The last 6 are their quarter-inch inputs. 6, 9, and 10. I mean, we're not using. Those can be line level or instrument level inputs. So yeah, anyways, we got our 14 tracks here. And then here's the one of the keys. All of these feed to no output, not one. They're all on no output for a very particular reason. You do not want any of these things going to any of the channels on your interface that are considered outs. What you're going to do instead is use these buses, all of them, and this does take a while to assign each of them to all 4 buses. All of these go to bus 1 through 4. Additionally, I don't have it in this template. We got another template that's more updated, and it has all of these. When you're using in-ear monitors, you want everything to sound crisp. In a sense, like a studio when it's really live. Loose. I use that term loosely though. So you want to pretty everything up. You don't want just raw drums in your ear, or raw talkback really in your ear. You want it to sound clean, so that stuff doesn't get cluttered, because using your in-ear monitor, stuff can get cluttered rather quickly, a lot quicker than it can get cluttered with a PA system or a monitor on a monitor speaker. So yeah, we have different audio effects on these to make them sound cleaner. Gates, compressors, EQs, whole bunch of stuff on almost every channel, I think, so that we can hear stuff clearly. All right, so then what we do is we take things. All 4 of these go to a bus. Then here's the key: all 4 buses go to a specific out on the Tascam. Now, okay, I forgot to say, each one of these come in here. So this is bus 1, bus 2, bus 3, bus 4. So all of these in this first row, bus 1, come into here, and then go out here. Now these are the Tascam has 4, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's making me assign them stereo, so I pan them hard left and hard right, essentially, to make it 1, 2, 3, 4 separate. If I messed that up and you know a way to fix it, please leave a comment in the description or a comment down below, because I'd love to, not process 2 stereo tracks. Just anyways, for efficiency. Anyways, it works. And then of course these output, these here, they really don't do much because there's nothing here being outputted into any main output or anything like that. So yeah, everything comes in, it goes to the 4 buses, gets split up. Logic does that. Logic takes it and spits it out at the right levels for each auxiliary channel. into the different outs on the back of the Tascam. That's the biggest thing. That's what was in the other guy's video when he used main stage to do it. Same concept, was amazing. Now here's the big thing that is different from Logic and main stage. Just to go back to it, Logic is going to record all my tracks separately. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest reason why I did it. It's gonna record all the tracks separately, and I can go back and mix it later. I can do whatever I want because they're all separate. So I can even fine tune the system and say, well, I need the gate lower because I can tell as I was playing, or as I'm listening back to it, that the gate is not at the right level because of the fact that I can hear too much noise aside from the bass drum or something, just something along those lines, random things that people do when they mix. Right. So the other thing is Logic has this ability since I think nine point something. Yeah, 9 points. I don't remember which one, but I use 10. So Logic has this ability to use what's called a OSC, which is Open Sound Control, which is a protocol that Logic can utilize to control different things within Logic, like faders, the different effect volumes, or the different stuff like that, essentially. So there's this one called Touch OSC, which is it's an app. It's made for Android. It's made for iPad. It can interface with Logic, and you can tell Logic that when you move this fader on the iPad, you want it to affect bus 1 or bus two's volume or bus 3 volume. So essentially, I have an app. I have that app, and my bandmates have that app, and each one of them has a page within it for themselves where they can tell Logic how high their bus volume is going to be. Now, they can't change things like the compressor or the gate or the EQ because that's going to affect everybody. But the volume level, they can turn stuff down and up as they need to. And they can even turn their master up. And it's all labeled, with this, so they know exactly what they're doing. But yeah, that's one of the things that I like because they have control, and they don't have to come to me to say, "Hey, I want you to turn this down." That to me is what makes this essentially, in my opinion, better than an Axiom or better than one of those Behringer systems. This costs maybe what? The price of the Mac, which you probably already have. I mean, as a musician, I got one. That's what I know. Interface. I got that interface at a pawn shop for $150. The PreSonus we got extra cheap. I don't remember the exact price. But yeah, the headphone. Actually, my headphones probably what cost the most. But yeah, the app is $4.99. It's not expensive. Like one of those other systems. So. This is an alternative, I think, a good alternative. Now, what the big thing that everybody's going to be concerned of is lag, or what do they call it in the non-gaming world? It's called latency. So latency is introduced by the system, of course, because the system's coming in, it's processing the audio, which takes a couple milliseconds. Then it's processing the audio. Or I'm sorry. Okay, so first it processes it in the interface into digital audio, communicates that to the computer. The computer does whatever it needs to do when you add all these effects, when you send it different places. It does all that too, which is extra latency. Then it communicates it back to the interface in their outputs, which is an additional amount of latency. So all in all, I think we're looking at what was 23 milliseconds of latency. For me, that's not a big deal because here's the thing. In any system you get that converts audio from analog to digital, you're going to have latency, whether it's software or firmware. You're always going to have latency. Now, if you have something that stays completely analog, there's no latency, from my experience. Anything that converts analog to digital will create some form of latency. Now, the firmware and the hardware inside of that, whatever contraption we're talking about, may be 10 times more efficient to work in 2, 3, 4 milliseconds compared to 23. But in my opinion, you're always going to have latency. So I can deal with 23 milliseconds of latency in my headphone amplifier or headphone monitors for this price. I surely can. So yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say. Uh, that's everything. I don't unfortunately have the Touch OSC implemented at this current moment. I've tested it. It does work, but I don't have it implemented at church yet, so I can't exactly show it. But that's everything. That's the concept. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comment section. I'll try to get back to everyone. If you like this, if this helped you out, please leave a like. Yeah, other than that, thanks for your time, everybody. I'll have a good day. Bye.